What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close. and we are now 242 subs away from hitting 500 subs, and who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got. Excuse me, that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set, much similar to what I pulled out of my Genesis Impact box that I opened up last year, which is this beautiful Beak Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely amazing as a collector's rare. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 85% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys have not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below. Excuse me. As will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. I'm on the card as it sits now. What are your guys' predictions for SummerSlam this Saturday? Let me know down in the comments below. And today's video, SummerSlam predictions for 2024. This is actually the very first PLE of the first SummerSlam of the Paul Levesque era. And what I find so cool about this is that you look at this card at this compared to the card from last year. SummerSlam last year was pretty wild, but when you get down to it, excuse me, when you get down to it, you've got literally you've got probably some of the biggest names in WWE right now facing off against one another. The only problem is that both the World Tag Team titles and the WWE Tag Team titles, as well as the Women's Tag Team titles, aren't even getting defended at SummerSlam, which to me I find that a bit disgruntled, if you will. It's a bit, I find it a little bit asinine, if you will. But I mean, it is what it is. At least the rest of the titles are getting defended. And this first match that I'm going to talk about is going to be one of the most heated matches, one of the most brutal matches I've ever seen. We are actually, or rather, we will ever see. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, with Seth freaking Rollins as the special guest referee. This is weird because you guys know I've been doing this shit for 10 years, for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. And I have never called a match involving CM Punk. This is a first for me. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. The Royal Rumble may have been just the appetizer a little bit, but this is essentially the main course. And honestly, I can't wait. This is going to be huge because this rivalry goes back. This doesn't just go back to Survivor Series last year, but it more so goes back to hang on guys, I gotta fix my tripod. There we go. Anyway, it goes back over a decade. This goes back at least 12 years, at the least. And obviously we will find out, why Drew hates CM Punk and why Punk hates Drew. We'll find out Saturday during the countdown show, because apparently Michael Cole sat down with CM Punk in an exclusive interview, and it's gonna be interesting to say the very least. But this rivalry has been heated for months on end. And think about this: 3 times CM Punk excuse me. 3 times CM Punk had screwed Drew McIntyre out of the World Heavyweight title. The first was obviously WrestleMania. The second was at Clash at the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland. And the third, Money in the Bank. Drew wins the briefcase. He cashes in. Punk screws him over. Damian Priest retains the World Heavyweight title. Plain simple. Now it's come to this. And funny enough, Seth Rollins ended up becoming collateral damage in that triple threat match, and Seth even admitted that he volunteered to be the special guest referee, which, in my opinion, as I'm trying to find something out of my drawers, funny enough, sorry guys, hair tie. My first one kind of broke. Anyway, Seth became collateral damage in the whole situation, and he essentially volunteered to be the special guest referee. He volunteered because no other referee on the Raw roster would do it. Seth was like, you know what, I'll do it. And we saw this past Monday on Raw, Seth laying down the law, and he said the only rule is to obey everything I say. Plain and simple. So I don't know if Seth is going to allow weapons in the matchup. I don't know if he's going to let it become a street fight. I don't know what the hell Seth has planned, but this is going to be a big one because this is actually Punk's first televised singles match in over a decade. Well, in at least a decade. Obviously, yes, Punk did have a couple of WWE live event matches against guys like Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor, but for the most part, he hadn't been in the ring in a simple one-on-one match, or even a tag team match for that matter, in over a decade. And that's crazy. That's crazy because the last time he was in a tag team match or in a one-on-one match, he was battling the Shield, teaming up with Daniel Bryan. Crazy enough. So this is huge. This is huge. But what's interesting is that even though he went to another promotion, which we all know, the question becomes, will ring rust come into play for CM Punk? And honestly, I don't think it will. But given the fact that he just got medically cleared, I don't know if that's gonna if that's gonna matter. Given the fact that CM Punk's arm is gonna be quite the factor going into this match with Drew McIntyre, and I don't know, guys. I don't know. We might end up seeing a reenactment of Shawn versus Bret Hart versus Undertaker. We might end up seeing that, which is kind of crazy if you can believe it. But I mean, we'll see. We'll just have to see. I mean, at this point, we don't really know. But knowing Seth, he hates both guys. But he's even willing. He even admitted that he was gonna call it down the middle, and that was that. As far as who I think is gonna win, I think it just comes down to whether or not ring rust will come into play for CM Punk, and honestly, I don't think it will. But this is Drew McIntyre we're talking about, and he's definitely gonna be using Punk's emotions against him. Excuse me, especially with the little bracelet that Drew took, which has Punk's wife AJ's name on it, and of course his dog's name Larry on that bracelet, which Punk even admitted that it may have been worth 15 cents to others, but to him it was absolutely priceless, because obviously both AJ and of course Larry are his entire world aside from the fans and his profession, of course, which is wrestling. But aside from all that bracelet is priceless to him. But I think I think the ultimate X factor is definitely going to be Seth freaking Rollins, and it comes down to what he has planned. But if I was a betting man, that's a bit of a hard one. I know that. Don't get me wrong, Drew had been in the ring grinding damn near every single week, but again, it comes down to ring rust and the experience factor, and Punk has been in the ring a lot longer than Drew McIntyre in terms not just in terms of WWE, but just in general. So I think the experience factor might come into play for CM Punk, but we will have to see. But for now, I think I would, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on Drew McIntyre. I think given what's happened to Drew McIntyre, I think we might end up seeing him walk away with a victory. And as far as what Seth would do even after the match, who knows? Who knows? But with that being said, we move into the first of 6 title matches that are on the card. This one for the Intercontinental title, and it's a rematch from Money in the Bank between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. Now, obviously, just a few weeks ago, at Money in the Bank, we saw Sami Zayn hit Braun Breaker with a Helluva Kick to retain the Intercontinental title, and it's weird. It's weird because excuse me. It's weird because the last time Braun Breaker was in a situation similar to this, Tommaso Ciampa was the NXT champion, and the first time around, Ciampa retained the said NXT title, but I think it was New Year's Evil 2021. 2021? Yeah. Yeah, 2021, 2022. Or sorry, 2022, sorry. Um wait, was it 2021? I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2021, and we saw or sorry, no, wait, was it? No, wait, no. 2021 we had WrestleMania 37. Florida. No, I was right. I was right. It was 2022. Yeah, I was right. Okay. Sorry guys. I got a little confused there for a second. New Year's Evil 2022 was when Braun Breaker actually finally became the NXT champion, and he had been dominant ever since as NXT champion. This time, Lightning could end up striking twice, but this version of Sami Zayn has been probably the best version we've ever seen out of him in years. So I don't know, but I think when you get down to it, it comes down to how bad Braun Breaker wants that NXT title, and he wants it more than anything else. But I think in this situation, I feel like the experience factor is gonna come into play. But think about this though. Think about this. This would be Sami Zayn's. Let's see. His what? Seven? I think his eighth or ninth. His eighth or ninth title defense since winning the title from Gunther at WrestleMania, and that was on night one. Funny enough, on night one of WrestleMania. Since then, he's had a decent handful of title defenses against guys like Chad Gable, guys like Ilya Dragunov, guys like Braun Breaker, just to name a few. Even guys like Big Bronson Reed, and he's beaten them all. This version of Braun Breaker, I don't know. Sammy might be in for one hell of a fight, but I gotta put my money on Braun Breaker simply because of his NXT title run. Because when he first, as I touched on it, his first shot at the title, he lost. First shot at it, he lost. Second shot at it, he won. This time, Lightning could very may well strike twice, but we will have to wait and see. But next up, we've got the women's world title and it is a bitter rivalry based on hatred, retribution, and Dominic Mysterio. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, a match at SummerSlam I never would have imagined we would ever see. I know that we saw these two go at it a few times over the last couple of years, but this is the first time that they're facing off for the women's world title. So there is a lot of hatred. And it all had to do with Dominic Mysterio. Enough said. I don't even have to say anything else about this one except Liv tried to split the Judgment Day apart. Rhea's back. Judgment Day is now whole once again. And yet for some reason Rhea Ripley is still confused of why Carlito is in the Judgment Day clubhouse. Crazy, I know, but this is weird though, because this rivalry goes back about what 2 years now. Yeah, literally, this goes back 2 years. This is when when both these women were a tag team chasing after the women's tag team titles, and what was it, the night after WrestleMania? Yeah, I believe it was the Raw after WrestleMania, where they challenged for the women's tag team titles. They lost, and Rhea Ripley just snapped, and she ended up joining the Judgment Day. And since then, sure, they might have had a match or two here and there, but this is where it all comes to pass. This is basically Liv Morgan's make or break. This is gonna prove whether or not she deserves to be the women's world champion. And honestly, it's gonna be interesting because with Dominic Mysterio in, literally caught in the middle. Yes, he did choose Rhea Ripley. Yes, he did choose the Judgment Day, but let's be real. Is he really sticking to Rhea Ripley, or is he gonna stick to Liv Morgan? We will have to wait and see at SummerSlam, but this is a bitter Rhea Ripley. This is a much more dangerous Rhea Ripley than we had seen in months. So, as crazy as it sounds, I'm picking Rhea Ripley. I think with how much anger she has built in her body, and with how much rage, anger, rage, hatred towards Liv Morgan, I know full well she's gonna use that to her advantage, and might end up just kicking Liv's ass, literally. But we all have to steer clear of Dominic Mysterio, because who knows? Maybe he might stick with Rhea. Maybe he might stick with Liv. Only time will tell, but my money is on Rhea Ripley. Next up, speaking of bitter hatredness, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, Solo Sikoa, the so-called new Tribal Chief, for the WWE title, and this is going to be a bloodbath. Because with Randy Orton out of the picture, with Kevin Owens out of the picture, Cody has no one left. So he's going at this alone against Solo Sikoa. But let's be real here. Cody always has a backup plan on top of a backup plan on top of the main plan. So as far as what that backup plan is, no one really knows. But this is crazy because this whole thing started at WrestleMania when Cody finally finished the story and he became WWE champion. This is weird. It's weird because Solo brought, the SmackDown after WrestleMania. He attacked Jimmy Uso, put him on the shelf, brought in Tama Tonga, brought in Tonga Loa, and then brought in Jacob Fatu, and then also, just from out of nowhere, powerbombed the living hell out of the wise man Paul Heyman, the Hall of Famer, through the announce table in Madison Square Garden, which buys into the question: are we really going to see Roman Reigns come back? I know I've asked that question countless times over the last several months, especially since after WrestleMania. But the question is, are we really going to see him? Unfortunately, not. There's been a lot of rumors that that Roman has a lot of other obligations to deal with, and rumor has it that we might end up seeing The Rock show up instead, because apparently now that The Rock is done filming movies and shit, we could end up seeing him back in WWE, and he might end up helping Cody retain the title, only for The Rock to want to challenge for the title himself, which it's possible, but but we will see. But this is going to be a crazy one because this is a new side of Solo Sikoa we have never seen before. So it's hard. It's kind of hard to say, but I think if there's anybody that can pull it off, it's definitely going to be Cody, because even with the help of main event Jey Uso, even with the help of John Cena, even with the help of Seth freaking Rollins, and even with the help of The Undertaker, Cody Rhodes was able to finish the story and become WWE Champion. And if he can do that, he can overcome Solo Sikoa and this new bloodline. Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it... Excuse me. Is it actually gonna happen? We will have to wait and find out at SummerSlam this Saturday, but my money is on the American Nightmare. And get ready, Solo, because Cody is gonna be bringing the fight. Speaking of bringing the fight, we have Logan Paul versus the megastar LA Knight. Yeah, bad joke. Yeah, I know I did that. I know I had to. But it is for the United States title. You got two megastars from two totally different worlds. You got LA Knight, who is the megastar of WWE, and then of course you've got Logan Paul, who is a social media megastar. And funny enough, he's an even bigger megastar on social media than guys like Mr. Beast, KSI, and even IShowSpeed together. And that's saying a lot, given the fact that those three guys have more subscribers to individually than Logan Paul does, which is crazy, which is really crazy. but this is weird though, because Logan Paul had been chasing after singles gold over the course of the last year or so, which dates back to Crown Jewel last year, when he challenged for the WWE title against the then champion Roman Reigns, and that was a fight. This one is going to be a fight as well. And what's weird is that Logan wanted the title he claimed that he wanted the title to elevate it and bring prestige into it. I think he said that on one of his podcasts, but I think he only wanted it just because it looked good. Just because the title looked good and it would give him more followers or something. I don't know. That's just my theory, but as crazy as it sounds, he has become one of the most interesting champions we've had in the title's history. But this is LA Knight we're talking about. This is a guy who has traveled the world, honed his craft, and has gotten so much better in the ring over time. And I think we're going to be in for one interesting fight. But here's where things get really interesting. Logan Paul is from Cleveland, Ohio. Born and raised in Cleveland. Now owns a ginormous estate in Dorado Beach, Puerto Rico. So given the fact that SummerSlam is going to be in Cleveland, the question becomes, are the fans going to be cheering for Logan Paul, or are they going to cheer for LA Knight? Maybe they might cheer for both. Excuse me. Who knows? All I know is that this is going to be a fight that no one will ever forget. But given the fact that Logan Paul always has his crew sitting in the stand, I can guarantee you that they're going to show up and hand him some more brass knuckles. So because of that, I'm putting my money on Logan Paul. And I think it's going to be a match that no one will ever forget. But speaking of matches that no one will ever forget, this one is going to be just that. The World Heavyweight title between Damian Priest, El Campeon, and the King General, Gunther. This is gonna be a battle. This is gonna be a fucking war, because what you have are two big meaty men slapping meat. Plain and simple. Enough said. Enough said. You got Damian Priest, who is 6'9", who looks to be about 6'9", 6'10", 249 pounds. Gunther, about the same height, 263, 264 at best. Think about that, guys. Think about that. And what's crazy is that this match came to pass after Gunther had defeated Randy Orton to become the King of the Ring. This is gonna be a matchup because it's basically Imperium versus the Judgment Day, and I think honestly the fans are gonna be on the side of Priest, given what's been going on and given the fact that Gunther called Damian Priest street trash. Excuse me. All I can say is that we are going to be in for one hell of a fight. I'm not going to say anything else about it. But the question becomes, could we see Finn Balor turn on the Judgment Day? It's possible, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm really not going to say much about this matchup, except for the fact that this is gonna be the biggest test, not actually the biggest test of both of their careers, because think about this, for Gunther, 870 days as NXT UK champion, 666 days as Intercontinental champion. If he wins the World Heavyweight title, who in the hell is gonna stop him? And if Damian Priest wins, it just means that he's gotten so much better in the ring than he did in past years. So this is huge. But my money is on Damian Priest. I think Priest is gonna be in for a fight, but if there's anybody that can pull it off, it's definitely him. But speaking of pulling things off, Nia Jax, Bayley for the WWE Women's title. This is the last match on the card to talk about. The same reason. Nia earned the opportunity because of the Queen of the Ring tournament by pinning Lyra Valkyria in a hell of a matchup, by the way. But there's always that X factor, and it's Tiffany Stratton. Could she cash in on Bayley or Nia Jax? Honestly, I think it'd be better to cash in on both, because it would be even more devastating for Nia if Bayley and Tiffany Stratton targeted Nia and they went at each other's throats. Bayley pins Tiffany. Nia becomes collateral damage. Quite literally. But honestly, though, I think this is gonna be the biggest test of Bayley's career, especially this version of Bayley, because this version of Nia Jax has been one of the craziest versions I've ever seen in Jax. But honestly, there's a lot to uncover when it comes to this PLE. But all I can say is we're gonna be in for one hell of a PLE. But my money, I think, is gonna be on Bayley. I think most of the champions are gonna retain, with the exception of Rhea Ripley. With the exception of Rhea Ripley, and I think just Rhea Ripley at this point. Yeah. I think I think Rhea Ripley and Braun Breaker are going to be the only two that are going to walk out as champion, but as the new champion. But everyone else, they will remain the same. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below your predictions for SummerSlam. And with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more PLE predictions and results in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Excuse me. Turn on the notification bell. And as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.